Good evening. Welcome to Glendale City Council meeting, June 10th, 2025. This meeting is called to order. We'll do a roll call. We do have Councilmember Turner, who has an excused absence. Councilmember Baldonegro.
Here.
Councilmember Conchas.
Present.
Councilmember Guzman.
Here.
Councilmember Melner. Oh, we're here. He has the excused absence. Mr. Turner. Vice Mayor.
Here.
And the chairman's here. For the reason of the flag getting here the last minute, the reason we're in this room, we had a power outage on the other side of the building, so we got moved over here, and we got them here, though. We got the flags here. So if everybody would do me a favor and rise, we have two things tonight, the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation is going to be delivered this evening by Floyd Brown, member of the Dream City Church. Floyd, where are you at? Come on over here to the podium and do your invocation, if you would, please. And then as soon as he's finished, if everybody will remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. You're up, sir.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. Wires, for having me here today. So many beautiful faces in the crowd. Thank you all for joining us. It looks like a full house. And I would just like to bless all of the council people here today. I would like to take a moment of silence for all the public service defenders out there protecting us in these uncertain times. Thank you so much. The wisdom brought upon by the council people and the members of the Congression cannot be understated. Thank you so much. In the Lord Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, if you want, you can stay right there and we'll do the pledge real quick. Please join me in a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Take your seats. Okay. Next on the agenda is the consideration of the minutes from the May 27, 2025 voting meeting. Council members, do you have any corrections or additions to the minutes? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve May 27, 2025 voting meeting minutes?
Mayor, I move to approve the minutes for the May 27th meeting.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Guzman and a second from the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Here's you guys have it, that motion passes. Moving on to boards, commissions, and other bodies. We'll move to that. Councilmember Melner, have you any nominations to offer boards, commissions, and other bodies?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I move to make the following appointment for the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission, Georgette Berry, to a term expiring January 31st, 2026.
Second.
Okay, and that's the only one, huh?
That's the only one.
Okay, so you've heard the motion, you've heard the second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Appears you guys have it, and so ordered. That particular person, if you'll meet me up at the podium, we'll get you sworn in here real quick.
How are you?
It's kind of weird doing the podium backwards, isn't it? Okay. So if you would hold, you don't need that. If you hold your right hand up, say I state your name,
I, Georgette Berry,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
and the Constitution laws of the state of Arizona,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and defend
to the same and defend
them against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
them against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's get a picture right here. Okay. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and present a proclamation proclaiming June 19th as Juneteenth in the city of Glendale, Arizona. The Black Business Owners Coalition of Glendale will be accepting the proclamation along with members of the city's inclusion network. So we have two different groups of people on basically the same thing. I have two proclamations that read identical, so I'm just going to read one. And then we're going to give two proclamations, one to each one of your leaders, I guess. Okay, so who is here for the proclamations? Okay, who is your leader? Come on up. All of you can come up, but the person that's receiving the proclamation, stand right here.
Come on down.
Both groups? Would you like both groups?
Absolutely.
Both groups.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
represented.
Come on over here. Just kind of circle around here. Okay. Is that everybody?
No, there's still some sitting. Come on up, Kendra.
Ooh, it's a big
No,
group.
he's having an issue walking, so.
You know what? We're gonna wait for him. We're waiting for him.
Making his. That's my middle name.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, proclamation, City of Glendale, whereas during the Civil War on January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation declaring slaves in rebel Confederate territory free, paving the way for the ratification of the 13th Amendment, which formally abolished slavery in the United States of America on December 6, 1865. And whereas the Civil War ended with the surrender of General Lee at the Appomattox Courthouse on April 9, 1865, whereas the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, I should have drank some soda, was delayed some 2.5 years to June 19, 1865, and reaching authorities and Americans in parts of southwestern United States, namely Texas. And whereas on June 19, 1865, Union soldiers led by Major General Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas to inform the population and enforce the Emancipation Proclamation. I knew I'd get it. I knew I'd get it. Whereas the celebration of the end of slavery, which became known as Juneteenth, is the oldest known celebration of the end of slavery in the United States. And whereas across our nation, our state, county, and city, the celebration of Juneteenth reminds each of us of the precious promises of freedom, equal rights, and opportunity, which are at the core of the American promise. Now therefore, I, Jerry P. Wires, Mayor of the City of Glendale, Arizona, on behalf of our City Council, do hereby proclaim June 19, 2025 as Juneteenth, and I encourage all of our citizens to celebrate Juneteenth annually in Glendale and urge our residents to take time to learn more about the significance in American history. That was signed by our deputy clerk, myself, and who's receiving these?
I will for the coalition.
You get one,
Thank you.
okay, and who gets the other?
And I will accept on behalf of the City of Glendale Inclusion Network.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, would you like to speak? Of course you would. There you go.
So Mayor and Council, thank you for acknowledging Juneteenth. It's an extremely important part of America's history. Thank you.
Is it?
That's it.
Thank you for what you're doing. I certainly will. Thank you, Mayor. Okay. Put my glasses on.
I'm gonna lower that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and council members, for this responsibility that you've entrusted on me. There's a question the coalition has posted on social media, and it simply asks, what does Juneteenth mean to you? What does June 19th, 1865 mean to me? It means the liberation, emancipation, and freedom of 250,000 human beings from slavery, people who looked like me, my ancestors. What did Saturday, June the 11th, 2022 mean to me? Just within walking distance from this very location, it meant Glendale had arrived. Glendale could now be placed on the map along with other cities such as Phoenix, Tempe, Mesa, etc., as I had the honor of organizing and hosting the first event to celebrate Juneteenth in the city. the kickoff to Juneteenth. It was deliberately scheduled on the first Saturday in June to not conflict with the tradition of Juneteenth that had traditionally been celebrated in Eastlake Park in Phoenix on the 19th. What did Saturday, June 8th, 2024 mean to me? It meant history was made yet again, as the kickoff to Juneteenth was held in our very own Glendale Adult Center. And just like the first event in 2022, our mayor and several council members were there to not only attend and present me with the proclamation for that year, but they graciously welcomed Tempe Mayor Woods and the first African-American councilwoman for the city of Tempe, along with the chief of staff for the city of Glendale. That day was also memorable, as I was the recipient of not one, but 2 Juneteenth proclamations. The descendant of people that were forcibly removed from their homeland and had been categorized as possessions had broken down city limits. What will Saturday, June the 6th, 2026 mean to me as the coalition every other year hosts and organizes a community event to memorize the end of slavery? It will mean the continuation of making my ancestors proud, as I know I walk in the footprint of greats such as Booker T. Washington, who after his visit in 1911, the first Juneteenth event was held in Phoenix at Eastlake Park. And I know I stand on the shoulders of prominent individuals, such as Winston Hackett, the first African-American doctor in Arizona, and his wife, Ira Alberta Ammons. I am confident, with the continued support from the mayor and his council, it can be achieved. And I owe a huge thank you to all of you, members of the coalition, partners, collaborators, supporters, neighbors, and friends, for just continuing to encouraging me and praying for me and reminding me, Rev, we can do it. And as I said, I'm confident that we'll continue, Mayor and Council, to keep Glendale on the map. I'm very confident, as long as the Almighty continues to give us strength. Thank you again. Thank you, Council. Thank you, everybody.
Who's got to take a picture? Uh-oh, did he take the picture? Oh, he did. No, they did, because he had the camera in his hand. He must have just took it from over there.
Okay. For those of you that are here just for those 2 things, if you would like to leave, don't be bashful. You're welcome to, or you're welcome to stay. So don't feel like you have to if you don't want to. With that, we're going to move on to our consent agenda items 4 through 13. What number did you?
Consent resolution, Mayor, consent resolution 19.
19.
We just want the presentation. We can vote on all
Okay,
of them
all
at
right. We're going
once.
to do 4 through 13 right now. Have we any speaker cards?
No, Mayor, no cards.
No speaker cards, okay. Can I get a motion to approve consent agenda items 4 through 13?
Mayor,
Go ahead, sir.
I move that we approve consent agenda items 4 through 13.
I
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Melner, a second from the Vice Mayor, to approve consent agenda items 4 through 13. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. If your guys have it, do have it, that motion carries. With that, Vice Mayor Tomachoff would like to have a presentation on item 19. Could we go ahead and get that now, and then we'll do items 14 through 26 all at one time?
Perfect. Thank you.
So, Marcella, were you gonna?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Item 19, resolution number R25-49, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and entering into a lesser's recognition agreement and estoppel certificate between the City of Glendale and Arizona Municipal Corporation and BJG Glendale LLC, a Texas limited liability company for the benefit of GR Funding LLC, a Delaware limited liability company as administrative agent for GR Funding LLC, a Delaware limited liability company.
Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report this evening is Parks and Recreation Director John Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps. Mayor and council, since 2012, the city has had a lease agreement with Ready Golf Incorporated to operate the city's Desert Barrage Golf Course. As allowed in the current lease agreement, Ready Golf is interested in assigning their leasehold rights to a new group, BJG Glendale LLC, to operate the golf course. The operating terms of the lease agreement are not changing from the original agreement with this assignment. The expiration date, rent, and operating terms are staying the same. What is being asked of the council tonight is approval for the lessor's recognition and estoppel certificate as requested by BJG Glendale and their lender, GR Funding. In layman's terms, this document states that the current leaseholder, Ready Golf, is current on their lease responsibilities and is not in default of the items in the agreement. This also recognizes the rights of the tenant, BJG Glendale, and satisfies their lender, GR Funding's security interest. So with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
I don't have any questions. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. I'm sure just by listening to that, you can understand. I didn't really understand what that meant. Mr. Kennedy was kind enough to meet with me earlier today, but I wanted to make sure the public had an understanding. When I read the staff report, obviously I'm not an attorney. I wasn't sure I understood what this meant. So thank you for the presentation.
Any questions? All right, thank you, sir. Okay, if we could go ahead and just move the items 14 right on through 26. That's why I was asking her that.
Item 14, resolution number R25-44, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into of a contract amendment number 2 to an intergovernmental agreement with the Flood Control District of Maricopa County 2022A005 for the Apollo Gardens Drainage Improvement Project. Item 15, resolution number R25-45, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing the city manager to execute a license agreement for wired telecommunication service in the City of Glendale right-of-way with BAM Broadband OpCo LLC. Item 16, resolution number R2546, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing the city manager to execute a license agreement for wired telecommunications service in the City of Glendale right-of-way with Summit Infrastructure Group, LLC. Item 17, resolution number R25-47, a resolution of the City Council, the Council of City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into of an intergovernmental agreement with the Arizona Department of Health Services for Glendale Fire Department Mass Sheltering System. Item 18, resolution number R25-48, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into of an intergovernmental agreement with Sun City Fire District for fire apparatus for Glendale Regional Public Safety Training Center. Item 20, resolution number R25-50, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into of a memorandum of understanding between the Glendale Police Department and La Frontera, Arizona, Impact Suicide Prevention Center, allowing Impact to provide behavioral health services to clients referred by the Glendale Police Department's Family Advocacy Center. Item 21, resolution number R25-51, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing Amendment Number 1 of an intergovernmental agreement with the Arizona Department of Child Safety, extending the term allowing the city to provide office and conference room space at the Glendale Family Advocacy Center. Item 22, Resolution Number R25-52, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into of an Amendment Number 1, 25-0011092-1 to the Intergovernmental Agreement IGA 22-0008643-1 with the Arizona Department of Transportation for the installation of sidewalks and enhancement of bicycle facilities in the area bounded by Missouri Avenue, 61st Avenue, Bethany Home Road, 55th Avenue, and 51st Avenue. Item 23, Resolution Number R25-53, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into Amendment Number 2, 25-0011050-1 to the Intergovernmental Agreement IGA 21-0008103-1 with the Arizona Department of Transportation for the construction of sidewalks related work. Item 24, Resolution Number R25-54, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into an amendment to the Intergovernmental Agreement 133-75-2026-12-00 for transit services with the Regional Public Transportation Authority, RPTA, for the provision of public transportation services in the city of Glendale. Item 25, Resolution Number R25-55, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing into Amendment Number 5 of an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Phoenix for the operation of fixed route transit services in the city of Glendale. Item 26, Resolution Number R25-56, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, authorizing and directing the entering into of Agreement Number 2, 25-0011121-1 to the Intergovernmental Agreement IGA 21-0008180-1 with the Arizona Department of Transportation for the installation of bicycle lanes and enhancement of pedestrian facilities on 67th Avenue between Missouri Avenue and Choya Street. And this concludes the resolutions, and you do have speaker cards for item 24.
Okay, you just had one handed to you. What number are they wanting there?
There isn't a number.
There's not a number? We'll go ahead and give that to me. What is that? Okay, all right, I'll figure that out. Okay. Linda Hallman, where you at? Okay, you didn't say, oh, you did say you want to speak. Okay, I don't know which item number. 25? 24? Okay, why don't you come up first? Okay, while she's doing that, can I get a motion to approve consent resolutions item 14 through 26?
Mayor, I'd like to move to approve items number 14 through 26.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Baldonegro, a second from the Vice Mayor to approve consent resolutions item 14 through 26. Before we take a vote, I have some speakers, all on item 24. And Linda Holman, if you would, tell us your name. I just said it, but tell us your name. If you live in Glendale, the
Okay.
district, if it's not Glendale, the city you live in, and then we'll give you 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Linda Hallman, and I do not live in Glendale. I live in Sun City. And then should I continue?
You got 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm here to advocate for seniors with disabilities, especially blindness and low vision. normally called visually impaired. And I have been visually impaired for about 40 years or more, and with a decrease of vision. And there are approximately 32,500 seniors in Glendale with vision that cannot be corrected with glasses or contacts, and we all have our unique situations. Blindness is a spectrum, low vision, visually impaired. It all means that you just can't read and recognize people and like see a bus coming down the street. So I'm advocating for ride choice because I take ride choice. I'm very grateful for it. I can get to work, I can get to appointments if my husband isn't available. And I've heard from a lot of seniors who just really need that personal service that's provided by ride choice. No other service can provide it. From what I understand, they have some companies that are trained to actually call you or come to your door. Many blind people know how to get to the vehicle themselves, but others don't even know where it's parked and which way it's facing and where the door is. So some seniors who've just lost vision need assistance. And actually, I was dropped off, I don't know, about a block away from here, so I had to kind of figure out, and ask somebody where this building might be. And I did use Ride Choice, so it's, it's not perfect, but it's definitely necessary. Having Dial-A-Ride is great, and I would say I've been told by seniors that they spend a lot of time on the bus. They've got different ailments. It doesn't really work for them. They spend too much time, and they really can't locate where a vehicle is, and much less a bus or public transportation. Any questions?
Yeah. No, we don't ask questions. We
Thank
just let
you.
you speak. Thank
Okay.
you for coming out.
You're welcome.
Okay, Kathy Rose? After Miss Rose has her 3 minutes, Kevin James, you'll be up next. Go ahead, ma'am. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, my name is Kathy Rose. I live in Glendale, Choya District, I believe.
Perfect.
I am recently blinded last year, and so I don't walk by myself yet, even with my cane. And I'm advocating for a ride choice because of several reasons. One, Glendale Dial-A-Ride only operates within Glendale. Ride Choice operates from our home in Glendale to Phoenix, Peoria, Scottsdale, and other areas where we have doctors or our church, or any other appointment we might have. They come at the door, they'll come to your door, they'll walk you to the car, and they'll get you to the door you're going to. Dial-A-Ride does not do that. Paratransit, which is the Valley Metro Paratransit, which operates within the city, all cities in the Phoenix metro area. It's a van. It will pick you up. You have to order the van ahead of time, a day to a week ahead of time. If you have a 9 a.m. appointment with your doctor, you must get on the van at 7 a.m. to get to your appointment at 9. Then after your appointment, you have a scheduled time to be picked up, sometime within a half an hour of the time you want picked up, which could cost you 5 or 6 hours during the day just to do that. Ride Choice, you can order 15 minutes out and get it to pick you up at your door and take you to your appointment. That gives us independence. We can go to our grocery store I wasn't able to take it earlier last year because I didn't become blind till after June. So I'm advocating that for blind people in particular, but all people that have disabilities, this is a wonderful choice. Thank you.
Thank you. After Mr. James, Kimberly Fetterman will be up next. Again, Mr. James, if you state your name, the city you're from, if it's Glendale, your district, if it's not Glendale, the city that you live in, you have 3 minutes.
Okay, my name is Kevin James. I live in Surprise. I am a retired city councilman from a long time ago in a place a long ways from here. I'm obviously now a retired city bus driver, so I know a little bit about that. And I understand the complications and the agreements and the constraints that all of you have. I am going to advocate for ride choice for a couple of reasons. While your responsibility is obviously Glendale, it's part of a metropolitan area, and not everything that we do is confined to that area. I like being able to come here tonight and participate, and you can go to different places, and it is more effective. I will grant you that you can do the bare minimum with dial-a-ride and that is obviously better than nothing. But also, just listening here tonight, I have not heard the city of Glendale discuss doing anything to the bare minimum. Everything tonight has been intergovernmental agreements, has been additional work to be done, and I think that more exemplifies Glendale than simply doing the bare minimum and eliminating ride choice. Independence is always less expensive than dependence, and ride choice gets one step in that direction. So I believe it's a good way for the city of Glendale to go. Thank you very much for all you do, and thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening.
Thank you, sir. Kimberly Fetterman, you're up. Same thing, the city that you're from, if it's Glendale, the district, if it's not, then the city, you have 3 minutes. And then Beverly Smith, you're up next.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Kimberly Fetterman. I currently live in the city of Peoria, Arizona. I work for a company called Savvy Services for the Blind. I went blind 6 years ago and decided not to stay on disability, to go back to work and stay independent. And now I get to teach our seniors how to become independent again. And one of those ways of becoming independent is utilizing ride choice. And so ride choice in the city of Phoenix and the city of Glendale were both introduced last June in 2024. They're both pilot programs. The city of Phoenix is increasing their activity, their presence with ride choice. It was only a limited amount of people that were getting that program in Phoenix. Effective July 1st, every citizen that has a disability is going to be able to utilize that ride choice program, where in the city of Glendale, it's being discontinued. So the difference between ride choice and the regional dial-a-ride is ride choice is like utilizing an Uber or Lyft, and you get that ride instantly, any time of day or night, whether it's the weekends or during the day. With the regional dial-a-rides, it's a program where it's a bus and it goes on around and it picks up several people throughout the route, and it drops off several people. When I went to the mobility center to get certified, it took me 3 hours to get home, which usually takes me about an hour. Yeah, I do live in a different city, but it's the same scenario with it when it's the ride choice versus dial-a-ride. Most cities within Maricopa have this program, and it's successful, and it saves money. The dial-a-ride programs are very expensive for the different cities, and so that's why they are utilizing the different ride choices. In some of the different areas, you can't even get the dial-a-rides into the people's houses. And like my other friends have said, that as a blind person going through that initial phase, it's very difficult. A lot of them just want to stay in the home and want to go to different, to facilities to where they live their lives out. And we don't believe that. We believe that blindness is not what's going to hold you back, because we know that we can do anything that we want. We can set our minds to with the right training. And I want to help anybody that I can. So thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Beverly Smith. Your district that you live in, if it's the city of Glendale, you have 3 minutes.
Glendale, and the district is Beryl.
Perfect. Thank you.
I am a senior with vision problems. I go to Savvy Services for the Blind. Kimberly is one of my instructors. I've been going there for quite a while. I use Ride Choice, so I am advocating for that. It takes me maybe the longest, and that depends on traffic, is 45 minutes. With Dial-A-Ride, or Regional Dial-A-Ride, whatever it is, I would have to get on the bus at 7, no later than 7:30, to be at Savvy by 9. That's a long time to be sitting for me. I can't sit that long. It would be even longer probably coming home. Also, I'm on the program with the 400 miles. It costs me $3 each way. With Regional Dial-A-Ride, it's going to go up to $4 each way. That's going to hurt my budget really bad. Even though it's only $1, it's actually $4 a week, which it takes 4 weeks. That's $16. That's going to take food or whatever out of my mouth. I don't get that much a month. So I am advocating for Right Choice. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Councilmember Tomachop.
Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity to speak about this. And to the, I believe only one resident, actual Glendale resident, was here this evening to speak about that. But just so you're aware, I'm the person who advocated for a pilot. We ran a pilot for Ride Choice, and we offered it to our paratransit riders as an option, as opposed to the traditional paratransit rides that we were offering. And it was a 1-year pilot. Unfortunately, the ridership was minimal on this pilot. We gave it a whole year. It really never took hold. And the numbers just aren't high enough at this time to continue on with the pilot and fully implement a Ride Choice program. I can tell you other cities are struggling with this program as well. I sit on the Valley Metro Board of Directors. Effective July 30th, the City of Surprise is terminating their Ride Choice program. And there are other cities considering the same thing. So it's our goal as a council and as our city staff to try to provide these services to you. That was the reason I advocated and was able to get a consensus to run this pilot program. Not to say that we may try to run another pilot program for Ride Choice. I understand the convenience it provides to you, but unfortunately, we didn't get enough riders to make that choice to use Ride Choice rather than a traditional paratransit ride to implement the program. So I know the people who love it really love it, but right now there's not enough people who loved it to continue on with it. So I'm committed to trying to serve transit in our community and in our region. I've been spending 10 years now on the Valley Metro Board of Directors. And we may take a look at this, sometime in the future and and I know we will take a look at it and try to figure out why we didn't have the ridership and maybe what we might try to do differently in the future. But for right now, there just weren't enough people using the Ride Choice to implement it. So I apologize to those of you that like it. And I wouldn't be surprised if there were more cities terminating it. Like I said, I was notified today that Surprise, effective July 30th, after 2 years, is no longer going to offer Ride Choice. So we're going to take a vote here in a few minutes, but I just want you to know that we understand your concern, and that's why we ran the pilot program, to see if it was something the community wanted, and we really just didn't get enough people interested in it. So thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity to speak.
Mayor, may I speak?
Yeah, this is abnormal, but go ahead.
Mayor, I want to express concern over the decision not to continue the Ride Choice program in Glendale. This program was budgeted at $400,000, funds we already set aside from regional paratransit savings, yet only about $36,000 was spent. And for that investment, we provided over 1,000 trips to residents, many who rely on flexible same-day transportation options to get to medical appointments, grocery stores, and social activities that help them live their lives independently. This is economic mobility for folks with disabilities. Staff now estimates that the continuing of the program would cost about $125,000, less than a third of what we originally planned to spend. And that's relatively small when you compare it to the $14 million that we recently approved for the parking, 800 parking spaces at the Vi Resort. That's roughly $17,500 per space. Our budget is a reflection of our values, and if we're willing to spend millions to support luxury tourism infrastructure, we should also be willing to spend a fraction of that to support access, mobility, and dignity for our residents with disabilities and with seeing impairment. So I believe let's take another look at this and let's explore how to make a Ride Choice work for Glendale. Thank you.
Okay. With that said, I asked for a motion. We got the motion in second? Okay. With that said, we have a motion, we have a second. We'll do a roll call vote, starting with Councilmember Baldenegger. How do you vote?
Mayor, am I allowed to, and I apologize for asking.
We're voting right now.
No, I know, I'm just.
You can explain
Okay,
your
well,
vote.
okay. I just have a question. Am I able to, I have to say yay and nay to all of them, or can I say yay and nay to one specific one?
No, this is everything.
Okay. I will vote yay to not affect all the other resolutions, but I will also bring it up in the next council item of special interest so we can look into that to look into that program again.
Okay. Councilmember Conchas, how do you vote?
Yeah, aye.
Councilmember Guzman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Melner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Turner is excused. Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye, Mayor.
Okay. I heard that.
Okay.
Chairman
Aye.
votes aye. Motion carries. We'll now move on to ordinances. Marcella, would you read item number 27 by title, please?
Ordinance number 25-26, an ordinance of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, approving a master airport terminal office lease agreement for use by the Glendale Regional Airport.
Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report this evening is Matt Smith, Airport Administrator.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm here to talk about the terminal lease template update. The last time the terminal lease template was updated was 2017, and I have some rather minor changes here. The first change is just to clean up the language where the current lease template has Glendale Municipal Airport, but the name has been changed to Glendale Regional Airport. The new template will forbid lessees from subleasing their office space in the terminal to third parties, and that's just to protect the city interests. Office space was appraised to ensure a base rate is set according to a fair market value, and so we'll be able to set an annual rate. The annual increaser will happen on July 1st, where currently it just happens kind of willy-nilly whenever a particular lease was signed. And that way it falls in line with our fiscal year. The annual increase will be a 3% minimum or the CPIU, whichever is greater, and that's to help the airport keep up with inflation. And then these changes will also ensure that all tenants will pay the same rate per square foot per year. The benefits to the city are that this transparent pricing will streamline the revenue process for city staff. It will also make revenue streams more predictable. And for the community, the prices are more equitable, transparent, and predictable for tenants. And then having a benchmark price will clear up confusion among tenants who sometimes will compare rates with each other. And then our long-term tenants are currently punished for their longevity by the CPI increases. And what this will do is it'll make sure that everybody is paying equally for their square foot per year. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Question from the council? Seeing none, can I get a motion for item 27?
Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 25-26 and waive reading beyond the title.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Conchas, second from the Vice Mayor. Roll call vote. Councilmember Waldenegger, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Conchas, how do you vote?
May I explain my vote?
Go ahead.
I'm going to be voting yes, and I just want to say when I did visit the airport hangar tenants, they would definitely want a restaurant back, and they want that restaurant back. So thank you, Mayor. I vote aye.
Councilmember Guzman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Milner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Moving on to resolutions. Item 28.
Resolution number R25-58, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, designating the Chief Fiscal Officer for officially submitting the fiscal year 2026 expenditure limitation report to the Arizona Auditor General.
Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report on both item number 28 and number 29 is Megan Smith, Accounting Program Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps. This item is to adopt a resolution designating Levi D. Gibson, the Budget and Finance Director for the City of Glendale, as the Chief Fiscal Officer to officially submit the fiscal year 2026 Annual Expenditure Limitation Report to the Arizona Auditor General, as required by statute. This concludes my presentation.
Wasn't much. Okay, can I get a motion for item 28?
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number R25-58.
Second.
Second from Mr. Baldenegro. Motion from Councilmember Guzman. Roll call vote. Councilmember Baldenegro, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Conchas, how do you vote?
May I explain my vote?
Go ahead.
Yes, and Levi's amazing. Thank you.
Councilmember Guzman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Milner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Item 29.
Resolution number R25-59, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, adopting the Public Safety Personnel Retirement System Pension Funding Policy and formally accepting the employer's share of the assets and liabilities under the system based on the system's actuarial valuation report.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and Council. This item is to adopt the resolution of the Council adopting the Public Safety Personnel Retirement System's pension funding policy and formally accepting the employer's share of the plan's asset and liabilities under the system, based on the system's most recent actuarial valuation report. Arizona revised statutes requires all cities participating in PSPRS retirement systems to annually adopt a pension funding policy and accept the employer's share of the assets and liabilities. The city has two plans, one for police and one for fire. As of the last actuarial report, the Glendale Police Plan is 85.9% funded with plan assets of $420,592,207 and plan liabilities of $489,684,781. The Glendale Fire Plan is 87.5% funded with plan assets of $260,878,466 and plan liabilities of $297,242,367. That concludes my report, and I'd happy to take any questions.
Questions? Seeing none, thank you. Can I get a motion for item 29?
Mayor,
Go ahead.
I move that we approve resolution number R25-59.
Second.
Okay, a motion from Councilmember Milner, a second from the Vice Mayor. Roll call vote. Councilmember Baldenegro, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Conchas, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Guzman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Milner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That motion carries. Marcella, would you read item 30 by number and title? This is a public hearing.
Resolution number R25-57, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, adopting the final budget of the amounts required for the public expense for the City of Glendale for the fiscal year 2025 through 2026, setting forth the revenue and the amount to be raised by direct property taxation and adopting the City Council's final financial policies.
Public hearing is now open on resolution R25-57.
Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report this evening is Amy Lindsay, Assistant Director of Budget and Finance.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This resolution is to review the proposed fiscal year 2026 final budget, conduct a public hearing on the final budget, and convene a special meeting to adopt the resolution formally approving the final operating, capital, debt service, and contingency appropriation budgets. The total budget for the fiscal year 2026 is $1.46 billion. That concludes my report, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the council? Hearing none, I have no speaker cards. Do you have any? No?
No,
Okay.
Mayor.
Is there anyone needing to speak on this item? Seeing no one, public hearing is now closed. Special budget meeting to adopt fiscal year 2025-2026 final budget. Will now recess our regular voting meeting, move to the special budget meeting to vote on the final adoption of the annual budget for fiscal year 2025-26. Our regular voting meeting is now recessed, and the special budget meeting is now called to order. Marcella.
Resolution number R25-57, a resolution of the Council of the City of Glendale, Maricopa County, Arizona, adopting the final budget of the amounts required for the public expense for the City of Glendale for the fiscal year 2025 through 2026, setting forth the revenue and the amounts to be raised by direct property taxation, and adopting the City Council's financial policies.
Okay, I have no speaker cards. Anyone needing to speak on this item? Seeing none, can I get a motion on item 30, resolution R25-57?
Mayor, I'd like to move to approve resolution number R25-57.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Baldonegro, a second from the Vice Mayor to approve the recommended action. Is there a discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call vote, starting with Councilmember Baldonegro. How do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Conchas, how do you vote?
I'd like to explain my vote.
Go ahead.
Thank you to all of the city staff and for putting all of this together, especially during my first budget session. I also want to thank the taxpayers and the residents of the city of Glendale for your trust and your treasure. And with that, I vote yes. Thank you.
Councilmember Guzman, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilmember Melner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, that motion carries. There's no objection from this council. The special budget meeting is adjourned. We're now reconvened to our regular voting meeting. New business. Marcella, item 31.
Reappointment of City Judge Jack Pritt.
Mayor, members of the council, here to provide staff report is James Brown, Director of Human Resources.
Thank you, Mr. Phelps. Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a request for City Council to reappoint City Judge Jack Pritt to a 2-year term. His current term expires October 15th, 2025. Judge Jack Pritt is serving his initial term as Glendale City Judge, which began October 16th, 2023, and he is eligible for reappointment. Judge Pritt's initial reappointment will begin October 16th, 2025, and will be a 2-year term. Public input was sought regarding the reappointment of City Judge Jack Pritt, and all input has been provided to the City Council for their consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I get a motion on item 31?
Mayor,
Go ahead.
I move that the council reappoint City Judge Jack Pritt.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Conchas, a second from the Vice Mayor. Roll call vote. Councilmember Baldonegro, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Conchas, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Guzman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilmember Melner, how do you vote?
Aye.
Vice Mayor, how do you vote?
Aye.
I'm going to explain my vote. Judge, I don't know if you're in this room or not.
Yeah, he
There
is.
you are. Sir, I've heard nothing but good things about you. I'm honored to be able to reappoint you for another 2. And I'm hoping after that 2, I hear the same things, and maybe we can just keep you in forever. But as of right now, you have my vote, which means it's unanimous. Thank you. With that, council comments and suggestions. Councilmember Baldonegro, have you any?
None today, sir.
Councilmember Conchas?
Yes, Mayor.
Time's up. Councilmember, no, just kidding.
Sorry, I usually have my remarks prepared, but I lost them. So thank you to the Glendale Fires Charities for the great day over at the Water Safety Day at Roseland Aquatic Center this past Saturday. We had over 600 community members who came by. I also want to thank our community partners, and also I want to thank Hayden He is the person who put it all together, and he put in a lot of hard work. And I really appreciate all of the hard work from our Glendale firefighters who were there that day. I also want to thank the over 80 residents who came and community members who came to our town hall last Thursday, and I also want to thank Fire Chief Mr. Ryan Freeberg for giving a presentation on all of the amazing things that we have here in the city of Glendale with our Glendale Fire Department. Thank you very much, and that's it for tonight.
Councilmember Guzman.
Yes, Mayor, I have three things. At the end of this month, the Yucca District will be hosting our second quarterly meeting. It'll be Thursday, June the 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the System of Care, which is located at 7677 West Bethany Home Road. We will be discussing water rates, water conservation, and a presentation on the Central Arizona Project's water history will be presented. So come and learn about water in Arizona and in Glendale. The second item, this weekend on June 14th, our nation will be celebrating the 250th birthday of our United States Army. Since its founding in 1775, the Army has stood as a symbol of strength, defending the freedoms at home and abroad that we hold dear as a nation. So as we honor this incredible milestone, let us remember and be thankful for every soldier's past and present service to our nation. And my last item is to say Happy Father's Day to all the City of Glendale fathers.
Councilmember Milner. Nothing? Okay. His microphone is off. He has nothing to share. Vice Mayor.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I want to thank the staff that literally got down to business when they got here today. We had to move everything from in there to in here. There was some kind of power thing happening in here, and there's no power in there. I don't think there's any AC in there. And they came in today not expecting to have to do that, and they did a really great job of setting this up really quickly. So thank you to the staff, and also congratulations to Judge Pritt. Thank you.
Okay, and I have lots of things, but I'm not going to share them because I want to go home, see what my wife looks like. I haven't seen her for a while. With that, citizens' comments. Next on the agenda are citizens' comments. Council makes this opportunity available to citizens to bring information and business before the council that's not on the printed agenda. First speaker, Gary Sherwood. You know all the rules.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. To be clear, I'm not speaking on behalf of any of the organizations I lead or are part of tonight, but I do want to talk about the library. And I know we haven't heard about the library perhaps for a couple days. 3 minutes won't give me the opportunity to say what needs to be stated having to do with the library. Therefore, pending one more piece of information, I've lined up a couple of local publications which will print my opinion, and I will share it with each of you via email in a few days. Admittedly, and I think with most of the city, the library thing could have been handled a lot differently from the very get-go. I understand the reasonings, most of the reasons behind why not, because as the campus renovation began and started climbing in cost, to add another component to it being the library would have been quite a turnoff to what was already a little bit of a sour situation. So, but there had been a decision by consensus by this group, by the old group, to move the library to the promenade, but that was rescinded when the makeup of the council changed. So we're now approaching a decision. My understanding is that you're to make in 2 weeks as to what version of the park we're going to select. But each version of the library, which was shown yesterday in a public meeting, but each version has the library in it, which absolutely makes no sense to me. There's no historic significance of this building, none whatsoever. It was cheaply constructed, structure that needs a ton of work. The library needs are different these days. Just look at the Hero Park version. Looking at the various presentations yesterday in the community meeting, a common theme came up of the way the trees would line up, offering beautiful sight lines. There are no sight lines in the park when you have a building that takes up 40% of the area. Which is smack dab in the middle of the park. So what do? After the park is completed, the existing library, if it stays, has to go through an expensive remodel and asbestos removal, remediation. What's that gonna do with the new park? Same if for some crazy reason we decide to locate it to the northwest corner, which is another option. Plus, as has been presented to you previously, of the three options, refurbish number one, number two, rebuild elsewhere in the park, or number three, relocate to the promenade, the last option is the most cost-effective, the least amount of downtime, and will end up being the most advanced. All the experts on this project say to tear down. If you make this decision in 2 weeks, the new campus still opens in March, but the park would more than likely be delayed by a number of months to allow for permitting remediation. I'm wishful that what I feel is the right decision, along with the experts, is what you take into consideration over the next period of time. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. James Divler.
Hi, my name is James Dibler. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Today, I'm speaking to you regarding the two-story abandoned house at 47th Avenue and Bethany Home Road on the north side of the street. Last week, while I was riding on the city bus on Bethany Home Road, I saw a burned-down two-story abandoned house with a lot of trash in their front yard. The current owners of the house doesn't take care of the property and his neighbors. Finally, I would like the City of Glendale Code Compliance to inspect this abandoned house at 47th Avenue and Bethany Home Road on the north side of the street to make sure they meet code compliance to clean up the trash in the front of the yard. Thank you for taking the time to consider this matter.
Thank you, James. Kevin Granton, you're up.
Good evening. My name's Kevin Gratton. I live in the Cholla District, and I've been a resident of Glendale for 27 years. I moved here from Michigan, and during my time in Michigan, I lived in a small town of about 15,000 people, and I served on our city zoning board of appeal, the planning commission, and then 2 terms as a city council member. Being a glutton for punishment, I guess, I now serve on the HOA board of the community that I live in. So I'm here to say that I have walked in your shoes and I've sat in your seat, and I understand that frequently you get a lot of people throwing stones and having complaints and comments, but that's not why I'm here. I am here to thank you for a number of things, and I'll go through them in a second. The first one is thank you to Vice Mayor Tolmachoff for nominating me, and for the council voting to approve me to become a member of the Risk Management Workers' Compensation Trust Fund, I think is the name of it. Thank you for that. I attended the first meeting last month. I was seated between Councilmember Molnar and Assistant City Manager Vicky Rios. That may have been strategic to keep the new guy from bolting out the door, I'm not sure. But they were extremely kind, as were all of the people that I met that day. You can be proud of the city employees that were there. I was very pleased. So there are a number of things that I consider to be accomplishment in areas of public safety, recreation, housing, healthcare, and general business climate that you are responsible for. The first is recently you announced that you were upgrading the patrol cars, all patrol cars in the city, with front and rear view radar cameras. And then shortly after that, announced that you're equipping them with defibrillators to assist first responders that may not be able to get on scene quickly enough. I think that's tremendous, and it's a great service to the public and may even save some lives, so thank you for that. The interaction of the police department and the fire department within our community where I live has been tremendous as well. In June of last year, we had Barbara Garcia and Jason Weichman, who work for in the Foothills Community Action Team. They came to one of our board meetings to talk about flock cameras and also what we could do and how we could partner with the city to enforce no trespassing violations. That was very helpful. I went to a town hall a couple months later that was sponsored by Vice Mayor Talmachoff. Commander Wade from the Foothills Center was there, and they were there to talk about safety and speeding. And it was as a result of a very tragic accident that happened in Glendale where a woman was killed when somebody drove into her home and killed her. And there were a couple of others where we talked about flock cameras, and I think the coffee with a cop idea is great. And in fact, we're having one of the officers come to our community later this month to talk with folks at our lake about the no trespassing issues. You've got a plan for creation of and improvement of city parks, which I think is wonderful. Our Sierra Verde Park is undergoing construction right now. The most important thing to me is that you're making them all accessible to everybody. You open the Glendale, the Legacy Village Temporary Housing Committee, community, which is also outstanding to help people that find themselves in a situation of being temporarily homeless. Building new and refurbishing bus shelters, also important. Adding more seating, putting better shelters on top, putting passing lanes or pull-out lanes in. So anyway, all of these things and many more are representative of your work, and I just wanted to say thank you and continue doing that kind of job. Right?
Thank you, sir. Okay, there being no further business before this committee, we're adjourned. Thank you.